guys, today I'm so excited for this video because the palette that we're gonna be using today, oh my god, when I saw this sneak peek, I was over the moon. Like, this is me in a color, I mean, look at me. If you don't know what I'm talking about, we're gonna be trying out the Ace Beauté Tropical Vibes palette, and I'm so excited for this because I haven't tried their new formula. They have apparently reformulated all of their other palettes. I will say though, I have 2 of their palettes and I've never really had any problems with them, but I can see why maybe the formulas wouldn't be the favorites for some people depending on how they do their makeup. But I am super excited to be trying this out. I mean, like I said, the color story in this palette just screams me. And it's so fall, it goes so deep, it's so bright and so grungy at the same time. Like, this is, oh my god, it just makes me so happy looking at this, and we're just gonna test it out. We're gonna see what the quality is like. I'm not going to be comparing this palette to any other palettes in my collection because I did see my friend Katie Marie actually posted a video this morning when I'm filming this. I haven't watched her video, but she in her thumbnail, she had this with comparison swatches with all of her other green palettes, and she is like the queen of green eyeshadow. Like, she loves green, so she probably has every single green palette that you would want to see this compared with. So I will link her video down below if that is something that you want to see, but I'm just going to try it out in this video because I don't have as many green palettes as her, so it doesn't really make any sense for me to do the exact same thing that I already saw her do. So I was originally going to compare it to a couple of palettes, but since she kind of beat me to it, just go watch her video because I'm sure that she did a fantastic job. So I'm just excited. We're just gonna go ahead and try this. I'm going to just start by priming with my Natasha Denona eyeshadow base. And I have to admit, this is one of the most exciting releases I feel like of the year, probably for me. I don't know. I've just been wanting Ace Beauté to come out with something new because they haven't in such a long time. And I was kind of worried that like they weren't doing okay as a brand because usually brands come out with a lot of stuff, you know what I mean? So I was like, I hope they're not like, you know, done. Hope that this isn't it, because their color stories are so good and I'm just excited to see them come back. I really hope that this palette is amazing. I have such high expectations and I already know that this palette is coming traveling with me if the quality is good, because we are going to Norway for Christmas. We're going to New Hampshire for Thanksgiving, so there's going to be some travels coming up. I might have a trip in January as well, and like, these are the kind of colors that I would love to bring like anywhere I go. And I also like that this palette doesn't have that many shimmers. I definitely prefer matte heavy palettes, and there are so many mattes in here. Some of these maybe look a little bit too similar, but like, I guess I see what they were going for because they wanted to stick in this color family. So I'm not really going to complain about that because I feel like there's probably subtle differences in them. And when I did swatch them, I mean, you could tell that some were a little bit different, but they also looked very similar. You know what I mean? So maybe all of these mattes didn't have to be exactly the tones that they are, but like, this is the vibe that they were going for. And I feel like they did such a good job at just like drawing people in with this color story that they definitely did something right. So we're just gonna go ahead and try. Obviously, I'm wearing like a lot of the same kind of colors that are in this palette because I wanna kind of match my palette when we're done with this. So let's see. This shade is like screaming my name, and I feel like everybody has probably used that shade, but I'm gonna use that shade too because it's just that kind of day. And like, this whole row, like these 4 shades together would just look so good. So I don't really know what I want to do. I'm thinking I want this to be my inner corner shade because I love having like a neon in my inner corner. So I'm actually going to just prime a little bit extra just in the inner corner of my eye here because I do want this to really, really pop. And I find that with neon shades, having like a tacky base is definitely the way to go. And since I don't usually prime my inner corner because I tend to have a shimmer there, I'm just going to put a little bit extra of this on just so that the color has a little bit to stick to. And I'm gonna take that on a Rephr. Let's see, I was just using that brush to blend that out with, and then I'm gonna find a clean one because I have multiples, because I am just very lucky to be on Rephr's PR list. They send me a lot of brushes. I'm so grateful. This is the number 12 brush. So this is a large pencil brush. I'm gonna go into the shade called Chartreuse, and I love the fact that it's just called Chartreuse because like, it's just so obvious, right? So that picks up very, very nicely. I'm just gonna go ahead and pack that right in the inner corner. That is so pretty. Love it already. I might end up layering some kind of a shimmer over the top of this after I'm done with the look, depending on how it looks, because I do prefer having a shimmer in my inner corner, but we'll kind of see what happens here. I'm just gonna make sure I pack a lot of this on because I do want this to be like a standout shade here, but this is looking really good. The one thing I will say is that it seems to oxidize a little bit when it comes in touch with my sort of wet primer, but a lot of the times that will happen. But I am not mad at it at all, and you can definitely get this to be a lot more like bright if you go in with a white base, which is not my thing. Like, I don't like using a white base. I find it to be just really annoying to work on. But I think this is looking very, very nice, and I do want this to be a very like dramatic look for the most of it, or for the rest of it I should say. So I'm definitely going to use the shade here called Cave. The question is just like, how do I want to do this, because there are so many beautiful tones in this. But that's going to be my deepening shade for sure, and I'll probably use, maybe I'll use both of the shimmers on my lid. We'll kind of see what happens. I definitely want to go in with one of these greens in my crease. I'm thinking these two maybe, like maybe that could be kind of fun. Maybe this one as well. Maybe I'll do the teal. Maybe that could be kind of fun. I'm gonna use this one as my transition shade. This is a shade called, can I choose another one because I don't know how to pronounce this? Palawan? Don't come for me. I don't know what that means. Let's see. I'm gonna use my Rephr 13. I just need to find one that's fairly clean. Definitely a little bit of kick up in the pan here. I'm gonna go ahead and start by packing this quite heavily into my crease. This is going to be a very, very intense look, but that is the way I like it. So for me, this is a perfect transition shade. I don't need anything lighter than this, but if you want to go in with like the yellow or something like that, or even the chartreuse to just have something in your crease, feel free to do so, but I just want this to be my crease shade. So I'm starting pretty low down. This is super pigmented, and it's sticking really well to my eye. I'm curious to see how this is going to like blend out on its own, because it's sticking to my eye so nicely here. But that looks very, very nice. Let's see, do I want to take this under my eye as well, or do I want to use something else? Let's just do the top part first and see how it looks. I'm probably going to use the same shade under my eye, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. I do want to try out more shades, but I'm probably going to do a 3-look video with this at some point. You guys probably know, unless you're new, I have so many things that's come into my collection lately, and I'm slightly overwhelmed, and I just don't have time to do multiple looks with everything that's come in, and I do prioritize at least getting through and trying everything before I go back to, you know, working more with set things, because I just want to make sure that I make content with all of the things that have come into my collection, because like that is kind of why I have a channel, you know what I mean? Because I like trying out a lot of stuff, and I know that you guys are interested in my thoughts on a lot of stuff as well, and I feel like a first impression is at least better than no first impression, so that's my thought anyway. So I've gotten the color down now where I want it. I'm just going to take the same brush here and just kind of use that to start blending this out with. I'm just using lighter pressure and just trying to kind of push this shadow up into my crease and share it out. And this is actually blending out much better than what I was expecting, because it's sticking to my eye so nicely that I was a little bit worried that maybe it wouldn't blend super easily, but this is actually blending like so well. Like that looks really, really nice. I am also gonna take a clean fluffy brush after and just run over the edges, but for now I think that looks beautiful. Let's go ahead and deepen this up a bit. I'm gonna take the shade called K, which is this very dark, it's almost like, I don't know, like a brown black. It's kind of how I would explain it. I'm gonna start in the outer corner of my eye, just pack this on very heavily here. And then I'm gonna use that all the way through my crease just to make sure I get the depth that I want. Oh, I love that color. That makes me so happy. Like, I love having really, really deep, dark outer corner shades. And I feel like this is the perfect companion shade in this palette that's dark enough that's gonna go with every single shade and is not a black. Like, as much as I like black eyeshadow, it's nice to see something just a little bit different, but it still can be used in the same way as a black, because I mean, look, this almost looks black, except that it has a little bit of brown to it. So I'm just gonna take that through my crease ever so slightly. I don't want the front portion to be too dark. And I still don't know what I want to do under my eye, so I'm just kind of leaving my options open for whatever my imagination feels like doing once I get to that point. This color is blending and building so nicely. Oh, I really like that. Okay, let me figure out what it is that I want to do underneath my eye, because I do want it to kind of like go with what I have going on here. So I don't really want to dip into like the warm tones, because I feel like with my outfit and everything, it's just not really gonna go. So I'm thinking maybe I will use maybe one of these like more grungy greens. Maybe I'll take this shade right here under my eye just for fun, because why not, right? So this is the shade called Jungle. Just gonna take that on a small pencil brush here and just take it all the way across basically my lower lash line. And we're gonna see, oh, I love that color. That is such a poopy green, like in the best way possible. Oh, I love it. It kind of reminds me of the shade in my my Wooden Side palette. Yeah, that is very, very similar. Maybe that's why I love it so much. Like not being biased or anything, right? But that is such a cool shade. I'm just taking a little bit more of that darkest shade just to make sure that it's blended into my lower lash line. I'm just gonna take it a little bit just like right in the outer corner here. I don't want a lot of this. I just want to make sure it's blended into the shade that I just put down. And then just a final blend on the mat here, just taking a clean fluffy brush. I'm just going to run that over the edge. And I also do want to just intensify the color in my crease a little bit more. So I'm just going back in with the crease shade just to make sure that it is the way that I want it to be. And like, this is looking so good. I can't wait to try out these shimmers because they swatched so beautifully. They seemed extremely opaque and wet looking and metallic, and that is exactly what I like in my shimmers. So I think that this palette is going to be a huge hit. Oh, you know what else I'm really excited about? The new Melt collection. I know that some people have been like, oh my god, there's so many things. Like, I don't know if I like this. I don't know if I like the new format of their eyeshadow pans, but like, I'm so here for this collection, and I'm definitely going to pick up the full PR box. It's going to be like $450. Do I care? No. I'm definitely going to get it. I'm definitely going to review it, and I haven't been that excited about like a full collection maybe since the Beetlejuice collection. Like, that was so much fun to review, and you guys seem to love those videos too, so I'm really excited to be testing out the new collection as well. And also just like, it's a butterfly theme. Listen, I came out with a butterfly palette myself this year. Like, of course I'm gonna be here for it. I love it. So I'm just gonna take some of my NYX glitter primer here, and I'm gonna put that over my lid before I put down the shimmers, because I do want this to really pop and stick nicely. So I'm probably gonna use 2 shimmers because that's usually what I like to use on my lids, and I feel like just enough room for that. So do I want to use a little bit of the shade? Probably, right? I mean, that wasn't my plan originally, but now looking at it, I'm like, how can I not? So we're gonna start with that. We're gonna take the shade called Seashells, and I'm just picking that up on the sticky side of my brush that I use with my glitter primer, and that's gonna go in the middle of my lid, and I'm gonna blend it out into that dark matte that I have in the outer corner. Look at how beautiful that shade is. Ooh, I love it. I love this look so much already, and I can't wait to put on like that gold shade. I think it's really going to tie everything together. Originally, I was going to do a look that I was inspired by an Instagram picture that I saw. I'll have it on the screen, but I just thought that that was so fun. But then I was like, you know what? I kind of want to just like try to blend these shadows a little bit more and just see like how they perform on doing a normal eye look first, and then I can play around with something like that in my 3-look video instead, because I feel like you don't really get a good idea of like how a formula works if you're gonna do like graphic looks and stuff. At least I don't feel that way, so I want to make sure that I just use this in a normal way first, so that you guys can see how the palette performs used in a way that you would probably use it. And so far, I gotta say, I am majorly impressed. That shimmer is so beautiful. Like, it has so many glitter particles in it, and it's just laying so nicely on my lid. It's blending nicely into my crease. It's blending nicely into the outer corner. It looks so pretty. Oh, this look is so me. Okay, so next up, I'm gonna take the shade called Rainforest, which is this one up here. This one looks right up my alley. Like, not that this whole palette isn't. I'm gonna actually take a clean brush because I had a lot of green on the other one. So let's see. This is my Rephr 21. And I'm gonna put that on the inner portion of my lid here, and that's basically gonna be, the look. Oh, this is so pretty too. This is way more of a, it's not a topper shade, but I don't find it to be as metallic and opaque as the green, but that's why I love it so much, because this is usually what I would use as like a front lid shade, if you will, and so it's just gonna blend so nicely into whatever you blend it into. Yeah, I love this. This is beautiful. Like, look how wet looking that is. Should I layer this a little bit over that neon in the inner corner as well, or should I just leave it like this? Because this is looking so good. Oh, I love this so much. Okay, I am gonna take a little bit of the shade because I can't help myself. This is a shade called National Park, and I'm gonna just put that in the front portion of my lower lash line. This is more of a, I guess, a true gold. I will say that these shades are a little bit tough to pick up on a brush. They're very creamy. They remind me a little bit of the old Menagerie shimmer formula, so I would either recommend using some kind of a more scratchy brush to pick them up with, using a glitter primer with the same brush that you pick up the shadow with so that your brush is sticky. That's going to help as well. Or you're just going to have to dig in a little bit, or you can use your finger, of course, but I don't like using my finger to apply eyeshadows. You guys know that, so I usually use the glitter primer trick because that works so well for me, and it's literally made every shimmer in the world like good for me. Like, there's not really a shimmer formula that I don't like anymore, because I used to really not like the shadows that I wasn't able to pick up on a dry brush, but ever since I started using my glitter primer and picking up the shadow with the same brush that I use the glitter primer with, I've not had any problems at all with that. But I really love how this just adds like a little bit of an extra pop of interest. I may have lost a little bit of that neon in the inner corner, but that's okay. I mostly just wanted to see like how it would perform, obviously, and I feel like we got a really good look at that when I first put it down. And now I just want to test out more shades and see how everything else performs. So yeah, like I was saying, it's a little bit of a flaky, creamy formula. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, I feel like those words are kind of contradicting each other, but on the other hand, like, if you try the kind of formula, you know what I mean. Because it definitely does make sense. So I really like this. I'm gonna dip into a little bit more of that neon shade and just kind of put a little bit extra just right in the inner corner, just to bring back a little bit more. And then I'm gonna go ahead and finish off with the look. I love this. Oh, this looks so good. I'm gonna go ahead and finish off, and I'll come back and I will show you the look, and I will tell you how much I love this palette. Okay, and here's the final look, and can I just say how much I love this? Like, you already knew that, but can I be buried in this look, please? Like, this is the look that I want to wear every day for the rest of my life, especially when I have green hair, because this looks so good. So good. So to finish off, speaking of the Peel, Juice and Melt collection, I decided to use one of the eyeliners that were in there. This is in the shade The Afterlife. Not that it matters because it's not available anymore, but it's a beautiful kind of chartreusey green. I just felt like it would go really nicely with this look. For my lips today, I have a lip liner from BK Beauty. I did do a video lip swatching all of their new lipsticks and their lip liners, and I gotta say, the lip liners are some of my favorite lip liners in my collection currently, and especially this color. This color is beautiful. It's in the shade Warm Spice. I love this. I actually wore this lip liner as a lipstick yesterday. Was the day before yesterday. Anyway, and I absolutely loved it. It wore so well. They're so creamy and just nice. And BK Beauty actually saw my video that I did, and they decided to give me a discount code. So I do have a code with them now. It's Annette10, and it will give you 10% off. It's not affiliated, but it will give you a discount. And so far, I've been loving the lipsticks and the lip liners. I think that they're so nice. I did decide to go with a MAC lipstick today though, because I've also been just loving this mini lipstick set that I got from MAC. I will link the video that I tried this up there. I don't remember. I didn't do like a lip swatch video or anything like that, but this is from their holiday set. It comes with 12 mini lipsticks. It's $75, and I love the MAC lipsticks. So for me, that was an amazing deal. And I just love this color because I just feel like it's a beautiful dark nude on me. I guess that's how I would explain it. This is in shade Mocha. It's one of their satin lipsticks. I love this. I love this. If you want to know what's on the rest of my face, let's see. I did put it out in front of me because I didn't want to forget. My blush today is from Unsai. It's in the shade Ripe Papaya because, I mean, listen, I can't get enough of these. You guys know how much I love them. My highlighter is actually from a palette from Juno CO, and this is from the Papillon palette. I never know how to say that, but I'm using this shade up here because I don't know, I haven't used it in a while, and I love this little thing, and I think it's just really, really cute, and I wanted to pull it out. I'm trying to get better at like using some of the stuff in my collection. It's so hard when you have so many things and you have your favorites. Like, it's hard for me to go to something that I know isn't my favorite and like use it because I just want to use my favorites, you know? So I do plan on doing a declutter It might even be in December. I don't really know. I'm not gonna be doing like Vlogmas or anything like that in December. I'm thinking posting every other day or something like that because honestly, it's just so stressful and we're gonna be traveling and I don't wanna have to pre-film and pre-edit like 10 days worth of content and then having to post every other day. It's just gonna be a lot. Like, it's just gonna be too much. I don't wanna do that to myself. I've done it the last 3 years. Actually, last year I decided to stop in the middle because I couldn't do it anymore. It was just too much. Like, it's a lot. So not gonna be doing that, but I will be posting a lot in December. And I'm thinking I want to put a lot of my declutters probably in December because I don't know, it's just fun, you know, end of the year, kind of clean out, get ready for a new year, something like that. So maybe that's what I'll do. And I do really need to declutter. Like, I really need to declutter, especially my eyeshadow palettes. That's probably going to be like a 4-part series this time because I'm not going to be able to do a full palette declutter in one video because I have so many palettes. It's almost a little bit embarrassing. Anyway, also if you wanted to know about this scarf, this is actually one of the scarves that came in the Woodside collection. This is the one that came with Tina's palette. This is the Hummingbird palette if you somehow haven't seen this. But the collection is still available. All the palettes are still available. My palette that I did in collab with Woodside is also available still. They're actually selling really well, which I'm happy about. And these are going to be included in their Black Friday sale. So just keep an eye out for that because these will be discounted. If you have been thinking about picking these up, you can definitely wait for the sale if you want to. Also, all of the palettes do come with a scarf, and that's kind of why I was like, this is one of the scarves that come with the collection, but this comes with the Tina palette. So yeah, just something to keep in mind if you were wondering and maybe you don't know how to use your scarves, maybe you got the scarves. I feel like this is like a cute kind of way to, I don't know, incorporate them. I also like to tie them on my handbag, like depending on what I'm wearing for the day. I will take one of the scarves and kind of like tie it on my bag if I'm going somewhere because I just think that that looks kind of cute. So anyway, that was a very rambly ending to this video. Let's talk about the palette though. I mean, listen, there's nothing else to say. I love this palette. Is this a first impression? Yes. Should I be saying I love this palette? No, but I still do. Like, I just think it performs so well, and I used, let's see, how many shades did I use? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shades? I think I used 8 shades. Did I really use 8 shades? I mean, it kind of does look like I have 8 shades on my eyes. I don't know, but I just, such a good first impression, such a beautiful color story, such a good formula so far, and I love the look that came out of it, and it was effortless. I didn't have any problems at all, and I'm just really happy. Like, I'm just really happy with this palette. I'm having a good day. I'm excited to film a ranking video after this because I need to rank the palettes that I've tried. I realized that I've tried so many more palettes lately than I thought I did, and it's been too long since I filmed my last ranking my 10 palettes, which is gonna be more like 20 this time, but anyway. I'm gonna stop rambling. I'm gonna go. Thank you for watching as always. If you want to see some more first impression videos, because I have so many of them, here's my playlist, and if you're new, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.